Hello everyone, I'm Andy from the Pixel Pub, and I'm here to talk about our PlayStation games we have picked up here recently. Okay, so there's a lot of PlayStation games, a lot, because Limited Run had their third birthday for their physical store here in the past, I don't know, month or so. It was a few weeks ago maybe, and we went and it was buy one get one free on PlayStation 4 games, the ones that they produce, and they also have a big selection of used games. And it was buy two, get one free on those. So we ended up walking away with a lot of games. We weren't really planning for it, but it was just, you picked up one and it's like, well, I've got an odd number in my hand now. I need another one for free. And then you find something else that it snowballed and snowballed until we ended up with like 16 games walking out of that store, which is insane. And you got a few other things that we have picked up just on a whim here lately too. So let's get into it. It's a lot of games. Okay, the first game is something Kathy picked up, something I'd never even heard of till she picked it up. It is Hyper Gunsport. Now this is a sports-like game. It seems to be volleyball but with guns. So you basically, you got your two sides, it's, you know, left and right, and you got two different people you can put on each side, and there's like different classes and stuff, and you know, you shoot a ball back and forth, and you maneuver this ball back and forth and score points by shooting it with a gun, and it's pretty weird. She played it the night we came back from Limited Run, and I was just like, what a wild thing this is. And you know, it's multiplayer, so when we get some people over to the house, we can play some. I got a few other games that are multiplayer here that I want to play with some other people. And yeah, Hyper Gunsport from Necrosoft. Never even heard of it until we saw it there. Buy one, get one free, like I said. It's Limited Run number 521, so their 521st release. So it's a lot of games. Okay, next up is a game that I picked out, and it's a game that I saw there, and it really caught my eye with the cover art, and it's made by WayForward, and I like WayForward as a developer. It is Spider Soars. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Picked this up just because we were just grabbing handfuls of games, because, like I said, buy one, get one free was a hard thing to not take advantage of. But this game appears to be, I haven't opened it yet and played it, it appears to be like a Contra-like, a running gun, side-scrolling, fun art. WayForward always does good with their 2D art. This is no exception. Has a fun, kind of a 90s aesthetic. I really like the girl there on the front. I like her little punk rock pink hair and the star like painted over her eye, and she shoots with a guitar. And it seems like you're fighting dinosaurs that are spiders. I'd seen it before and it caught my eye, but if you tell me it's buy one, get one free, it's gonna catch more of my eye. So yeah, added it to the stack, added it to the collection. It's also 2-player, so we can have some fun with that. Yeah, that's Spider Soars. Okay, next up is a game that I picked out. It's something that I'd wanted to play for a while. It is Rift-Trax, the game. Rift-Trax, the game, well, Rift-Trax to begin with is kind of a spiritual successor to Mystery Science Theater 3000. I think it's a lot of the same people, and I think they produce like podcasts that you can listen to while watching these terrible movies and get their jokes and stuff like you would with, you know, Crow and the other people. Tom Servo, that's his name. But this is a game kind of like, well, exactly like a game that I played a few years ago with the fellow Pixel Pub people, Chubby and Josh, called What the Dub, where they have like movie clips that are like maybe 10 seconds long, and it sets up the scene. Someone says something, and then someone says something else, but it's blanked out, and you could write whatever you want to, put in little sound effects. I like the fart sound effect myself, personally. When you do it, it reads out what you said as a little robot voice, and you play everything on your phone like the Jackbox Party Pack games, which is a ton of fun. I was like, well, we already have What the Dub digitally. We played it a few times with some friends, and it's a ton of fun. I really like it. So why not have more of the same thing, basically, but with the Rift-Trax branding on it, which I don't really listen to Rift-Trax stuff. I like to put on Mystery Science Theater as I'm like going to bed. Just let it lull me to sleep sometimes. But it's, yeah, this is just a fun concept for a game. I love the idea. And me and Kathy played it. As soon as we got home, 2-player is not as good. You need multiple people, at least 3 or 4. Had to pick it up. Okay, next is the game that Kathy picked out. Something she'd already played on Switch, I think, digitally, but she wanted to pick this up. It is Forgotten Anne. It's a game she played around with a little bit. It seems to be a kind of a artsy puzzle platformer. has a very anime aesthetic. I've grown to appreciate a lot of anime aesthetics here lately because I've been playing a lot of games with anime aesthetics. I don't watch any anime, but I do like the colorful outfits and hair people have in most of these styles. But yeah, this seems to be a story-based thing where you're playing as Anne. Imagine a place where everything that is lost and forgotten goes. Old toys, letters, single socks. It's a weird sentence. Forgotten Lands is a magical world inhabited by forgottenlings, creatures composed of mislaid objects longing to be remembered again. So it's basically the Isle of Misfit Toys from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer that came out in the 60s. So this is a sequel to that, if you were wondering. But yeah, it's Forgotten Anne. I don't know. Not my cup of tea, but something that she wanted. Okay, next up is something I picked out. It's Clock Tower Rewind. Back on our old YouTube channel, we did a thing called Kathy Plays Classics where I made her play old video games and see how frustrated she would get with them because they were hard. And for Halloween and stuff, I would dig out some horror-themed games, and this is one of the first ones, was Clock Tower. And there was a time and place where Kathy wanted to get every single game that we did for Kathy Plays Classics physically. And I don't think Clock Tower on the Super Nintendo came out over here. I think I was playing a fan translation thing back in the time. It's been several years since that happened. But seeing this, I was like, well, we did play it. It was something that we did. This is a physical version. Buy one, get one free. Why not? And maybe I'll give it a shot this Halloween. It is a very unique game where you're like this girl. What's her name? I forget her name. Anyway, you and your classmates find yourself in this like haunted house, and you all get separated from them, and you get chased by the Scissor Man, and he's this little dude with these gigantic scissors, and he's coming after you, and you hide in different places, like behind a shower curtain and stuff like that. And it's got a weird Japanese horror story. So I just, like I said, buy one, get one free. Okay, next up is a Kathy pickup. It is Gravity Ghosts, the deluxe edition. I don't know a ton about this. I don't know why it really caught her eye. That's a weird cover, but it seems to be, to my eye, watching the trailer, it seems to be a mix of like a Pixel Junk Eden with like a story and everything. Let me read the back. It says, surf the night sky, careen through the cosmos, find the fox. Gravity Ghost is a planetary platformer where your orbiting is an art form. In more than 100 dizzying levels, you'll put your area skills to the test against planets that bounce, break, splash, spin, repel, and more. It's everything an indie game should be. I don't like that sentence. I'll put that down now. But yeah, Gravity Ghost, I don't know. I guess something they caught her eye. Like I said, buy one, get one free. Might as well give it a shot while you can. Okay, next up is something I picked out. I had already got the third game in this series on the Switch. This is the second game on the series, but on the PlayStation. Blaster Master Zero 2. And it is basically not a spiritual sequel, maybe a spiritual prequel. I'm not sure what the lineage is between like the Blaster Master NES game and then like I think they made Blaster Master 2 on the Genesis, and it was like this weird 3D version on the PS1. I don't know what the lineage is between all those. All I know is that this is Entry Creates making a trilogy of Blaster Master games, and I like the Entry Create stuff that I played in the past, so I wanted to try these out, and I've already messed around with it a little bit. It's hard. Based on a little bit I played. So as you get out that car and you run around as a little dude, you get fucked up. But yeah, I will give this a shot. Now all I need is one. I work my way backwards. 3, 2, 1. And I just need one and I will complete the set. And I can finally give it a good, honest try. I don't care if they're on separate consoles. I do wish, I do care. I want them all on one console. But hey, buy one, get one free, like I said. I'm gonna keep saying that. It's thundering outside. It's gonna rain. Anyway, it's another game that I picked up. It was actually a game that my buddy Chris had talked to me about like 2 days before. He said that it was a fun little experience, and I'd heard of it, I'd seen it, but I hadn't really given any thought. It is Rugrats Adventures in Gameland. My history with Rugrats is that I am old enough to be there day one when the Nicktoons first debuted on Nickelodeon. I remember all 3, Doug, Rugrats, and Ren and Stimpy. I liked all 3. If you had to ask me my favorite, it'd probably be Ren and Stimpy at the time, But I watched all three religiously, like, and the ones that came after Rocko's Modern Life, stuff like that. I was hooked. I watched all of them. But it is just a side-scrolling platformer. But the unique thing about this game is that there is a NES version, and as far as I know, it is an actual NES version. So basically, it's a side-scrolling platformer. You have your graphics that, you know, your 2024 graphics or whenever this game came out, 2023 or something like that. And it's very, you know, it looks like the show, it animates like the show, and that's fine. But you can hit a button and it goes to an 8-bit version, which is what I've been playing. I played a couple of levels already, and it's just an NES game. And it looks like if a Rugrats game came out on the NES in 1992, 1993, this is what it would look like. And it's pretty freaking awesome. I guess there's a ROM floating around out there. If you check, like, you know, archive.org, you can find the ROM and play it in a NES emulator. So it would just work. Like, I would love to have a little cartridge of this, like a Repro cartridge to play it on the NES. Because it is a fun time. I need to play more of it. I was actually thinking of playing more of it tonight. Matter of fact. Yeah. Rugrats Adventures in Gameland. Damn good time. Okay, next up is something that I picked out. And if you've been watching this channel for a long time, you know I absolutely love this game. And I want another version of it. It's Infernax. Got it on the PS4 now. Now I got it on the Switch, PS4. I originally played this game on the Xbox on Game Pass. Just wanted to mess around with it. I ended up falling in love with it. It was a great game. I never did everything you can do in the game, so I got the Switch version to do that. Didn't find the time to do that. So right now, it's the Switch version on the shelf. I'm going to play the PS4 version because I think I would like playing it on the PS4 controller better than the Switch Pro controller, honestly. And like, I love this game, and games that I love, I want all the copies. Give me all the copies. I was eyeballing a collector's edition for a long time at Limited Run Games for this game. And for those of y'all who don't know what Infernax is, it is basically like a clone, not clone, but like a successor to like a Castlevania Simon's Quest or Xanadu, or maybe like an East 3, like a side-scrolling Metroidvania-ish adventure, you know, action game. You go into a lot of like different like castles and stuff and killing demons. And in this game, there's like some choices that you make where you spare the person or kill the person and stuff like that. And then it affects the ending, affects how your character is perceived in the world. It's just a fun time. Infernax is great. You should play Infernax. If you're watching this channel and you haven't played Infernax, what's wrong with you? And next up is a game that I picked out. This is a game that I've heard a lot about but never actually played. It is Ninja 5-0. This game originally came out on the GBA and no one bought it. So it's stupid expensive now and supposedly a ton of fun to play. And as far as I know, this is just a port of the GBA version onto the PS4, which is really strange. Just one game. I know they do it with like the Castlevania stuff and Dominus Collection, Advanced Collection. That's multiple games, and this is just one game on a PS4 disc, which is insane. But like I said, buy one get one free. I want to try it. Have a Ninja 5-0 in the collection. I think I'll have a damn good time with this. I love action games. It's an action ninja game where you're like a ninja cop and you're trying to save people. You can rescue people, and you're fighting this big red dragon ninja guy. I don't know. Seems like a good ass time on the PS4. Okay, next up is a game that I picked out, but I picked it out for Kathy because I think she would like it. It's a game that got a little bit of buzz when it came out. I remember when the trailer first came out, people were, you know, pretty hyped about it. But I don't know how much of a splash it made on the gaming world. It is Metal Slug Tactics. Biscuit is freaking out. Come here, buddy. It's thundering outside, so the dogs are freaking out. But yeah, this takes the Metal Slug games and made it a tactical tile-based game with an isometric view. Kind of looks like a fun Final Fantasy Tactics to me. But yeah, I got this so Kathy could play it because she loves tactics games. She loves doing the strategy style stuff that she likes to do. And what better way to do it but with the Metal Slug characters like Marco. And yeah, I don't know. She played a handful of levels when we got home that night from Limited Run. And I think she had a pretty good time with it. And yeah, I'm sure it's going to be in the rotation soon for Kathy. Next game is a game that Kathy picked out. It is Hugh. Now, Hugh seems to be a very old game. When I was looking up the trailers, I think this came out like on the Vita and very early PS4 game. It is another puzzle platformer where you manipulate color. You have this color wheel that you can pick out, and it like changes the color of the background, and it seems to be able to change what you could do to different parts of the world. So like, you know, this purple spiky thing is gonna follow me if I walk near it, and then you change the background to purple, and it just disappears. So you can just do whatever you want to, walk past it. and it seems like, I don't know, I saw that. She picked it up, and I was like, man, that looks fine. I really like that spine. That spine's going to stand out really nice on the shelf, but I was like, I don't know anything about it. And I watched the trailer, and I was like, man, that's a really unique idea. Maybe I'll give it a shot. It's just a fun idea, I think. Some called them Impossible Colors with a U, so you know it's not American. Or it might be Canadian. I don't know. They spell these stuff with U's up there. Anyway, a heartfelt story that touches on themes of loss, love, existence, and remorse. So yeah, along with that puzzle platforming, get a heartfelt story as well. The theme of this video. Okay, next up is another Kathy pickup. It is Fault Milestone 1. And the only thing I can say about this game is that it's a visual novel with anime girls in it. I think she picked it. Look, there's nothing on the back. Just a picture. I don't know why she picked this up. I think it was originally a PSP game. I think. No, here we go. Maybe there's some information on this thing. Oh, you're gonna love this. Just another picture. Guess what's inside? A warning. Great. I'm sure it's a great game. I'm sure it's Fault Milestone 1. I'm sure it's great. Okay, next up is a game that I told Kathy that she should pick up while we were there. She needed one more thing to make it even number so we can get the buy one get one free. It is 2064 read-only memories. This is a very, very old game. I remember hearing this game back in the day. I think I have it on the PS4 as a PlayStation Plus download. I just never really messed around with it. But it is visual novel-y-ish. It takes place in this like cyberpunk. Neo, San Francisco 2064. She had been really having a really fun time with stuff like Coffee Talk and Neo Cab, and I think this game kind of fits those aesthetics as well. A lot of fun characters. I know Dan Reichert of Giant Bomb did a voice in this game, and Xavier Woods. Xavier Woods definitely did a voice in this game. Dan Reichert, you have to double check me on that one. He's been in a couple games. But yeah, it's just another adventure game where you're like solving problems with these fun little characters. Look at these fun little characters on that. Lucy's got a cough. You okay, Lucy? Anyway, yeah. Unlockable post-game content, 10 hours of classic point-and-click adventure gameplay. A cinematic experience with a robust voice cast. I was just talking about the voice cast. Determine the fate of Neo SF through multiple endings. So yeah, I thought she would really enjoy it because she was having a good time with these type of games. Hey, this has got full manual in here. Look at this. Nice. Don't see that too often these days. Okay, next up we got some of the used games that we picked up out there at the big birthday celebration for Limited Run, or their third birthday. Starting with Star Ocean, Integrity and Faithlessness, which is a dumb name or subtitle for a game. This was there, and she wanted to get it. I know she's played a few Star Ocean games. Her brother Graham's a big fan of the Star Ocean games. I think she gets a lot of influence from him and wanting to play these games and have a good time with them. For my part, I played Star Ocean 3. I got it for like $20 on the PS2, and I played it, a little bit of it, and I hated it. I hated the battle system. I was too used to the Tales games, the Tales of games, like how that battle system worked with the action stuff mixed in with like a JRPG. The Star Ocean 3, I was just like, I felt like I was just running around, like not getting anything done. It was a mess. It was a chaotic mess, and I didn't like it. So I skipped just about every Star Ocean game after that until the Star Ocean Second Story R came out a few years ago, and I played through that on the PS5 and loved it. I had a great time, and it opened my eyes a bit more. Like maybe I should give Star Ocean a second chance. It's one of those big, long-running JRPGs that I tried one and I didn't like it. So maybe give it a second shot. So that's Star Ocean, Integrity and Faithlessness. I think this is the least liked one on the PS4. So I did this. I picked up Star Ocean: The Divine Force on Amazon. We did not get this from Limited Run. This was like brand new for Amazon for like, I don't know, $18 or something. It was super cheap. I think this is the one people like better, just based on eyeballing YouTube reviews and stuff like that. But yeah, the Star Ocean series has always been kind of, mixing in the fantasy and the sci-fi and stuff like that, and traveling to different. Do you travel to different planets? You should. It's the Star Ocean, right? at least in the second story R, you don't. It's all on one planet basically. There is a big spaceship that, you know, kind of plays a part in the story. But anyway, yeah, Star Ocean: The Divine Force has got a free PS5 upgrade, so I'm hoping to give this a shot. I have a lot of games that are kind of in this, you know, B level area game where you're not AAA. They're not the best, and they're not like these, you know, fun little indie games. They're kind of just hovering around, and they're all kind of made by Square that I need to play. I got this and like Valkyrie Elysium that I picked up a while ago, and I want to play that. But yeah, Star Ocean: The Divine Force. Okay, next up is Grand Blue Fantasy Versus. This is a fighting game based on a phone gacha game, I believe, that's very popular in Japan. It might have gotten popular here. This is a few years old at this point, but it is made by Arc Systems Works. I think, yep, there's their logo right there. And they make very fun looking fighting games, like amazingly fighting games. They made the Guilty Gear series that always looked good on like the Dreamcast and PS2, all the way up to Guilty Gear Zerd, which came out on the PS4 and Xbox One and stuff like that, which looked amazing. Had this incredible 3D art style that looked 2D, like it looked like it was hand drawn, but it was 3D art. And they transferred that to stuff like this, stuff like Dragon Ball Fighter Z. Just an excellent looking game. And this, I don't know much about the Grand Blue Fantasy stuff. I'm not into like gacha games and stuff like that, mobile games in general. But I do know they made this, and they have like an action RPG, kind of open world-ish type of thing that they made that came out after this. And I was kind of interested in this because I love the art and everything. I like big fun colorful characters. But yeah, this is, I don't know why Kathy's been on this fighting game kick, but she has. She's been picking up every fighting game she could find, basically. But this was part of it. It was used at limited run, so it's ours now. Okay, the last of the used games we got from limited run is Fairy Fencer F Advent Dark Force, which is a game that I had seen there, and Kathy picked it up. Basically, for me, it's something that I had, I was reading about, a few months ago, a handful of months ago, and I was eyeballing prices on eBay and stuff like that. And it seemed kind of right up my alley, kind of like a fun JRPG, turn-based, kind of mixed in with like some visual novel type stuff, and like different branching story paths and stuff like that. I was like, that sounds interesting, and as long as it's cheap, I will want to try that. And now I get to try it. Idea Factory. I'm not sure if this, I think it's also Compile. Yeah, Compile Heart. I don't think they have the best reputation in the gaming world. They didn't used to. But anyway, I don't know. Make up the numbers when you're buying two, getting one free. I thought, I want to try this. So we picked it up. That's Fairy Fencer F Advent Dark Force. Rounding out here to the end, we got the PS5 games. So, I don't know, a week or two ago, GameStop was running a sale, $15 games on Switch, PlayStation, Xbox, $15 games. And Kathy went down a rabbit hole of that and bought a few. Some on Switch, but one here on PS5 is called Seed of Life. Now, this seems to be a kind of a 3D action platformy type of thing with a fun story. I'm not sure where she got the idea for this, but she did. Seed of Life, GS2 Games. Biscuit is really scared. Biscuit, it's okay, buddy. Come here. They don't like the thunder. Anyway, I'll read the back for you. How about this? An epic adventure game about the persistence of life. You're Cora, the last known survivor of Lumia. Oh yeah, I remember reading about this. It's like a sci-fi type of thing. On a dying planet, your only hope is to save your home world by activating the Seed of Life and rekindle the sun once again. Will you be the light that conquers the darkness? Yes. Now I remember more about this stuff. It's going to be like a 3D action, like puzzle platformer type of thing. Like you're, moving platforms. Like I saw a lot of colors, but this is something that she wanted. Not sure why, but it was $15, so I can't fault her for that. Seed of Life. Okay, next up is a game that Kathy picked out for me. When we were back in Wilmington. Put that video up when we went to Game Giant in Wilmington, North Carolina. We also went to a GameStop, and she picked this up for me because she said she saw it was a Metroidvania, and I like Metroidvania, so she picked it up. It's called After Image, and I have played a few hours of this now. Haven't beat it, but it's it's as advertised. It's a Metroidvania where you play this woman with this white hair. Yeah, I don't. It's pretty standard Metroidvania stuff. I haven't seen anything that stands out too much, but nothing that stands out like bad about it either. It seems like a nice, fun little time, and it's got fun 2D graphics, which I always enjoy. But yeah, this After Image, I need to play more of it. The deluxe edition, download for the digital art book and digital soundtrack. I bet that's used already because this was used. I still got to clean off all the gunk on the back from the stickers. I hate stickers. Okay, next up is an RPG series that I, like Star Ocean, only played one of and hated it and never played any more of the series. It is Romancing Saga 2. I played Saga Frontier 2 on the PS1 and I deeply disliked it. I couldn't tell what the hell was going on. It's just a weird game. Had very fun art. Had the watercolorish art like a Legend of Mana. But I was just like, man, this game sucks. And my friends were into it at the time. I think they got way more into it. At first, it was like a punching bag that we all made fun of. Man, Saga sucks. Saga Frontier sucks. Look at this stupid game. But I think they got more into it, and I was like, no, I always hated it. And they did this remake of Romancing Saga Revenge of the Seven, which I believe the Romancing Saga series was on the Super Famicom, did not come out over here. And this game got a lot of pretty good buzz in the RPG community when it came out, and it was $20 on Amazon, so I decided to just pick it up. I actually bought it right before we actually went to Wilmington, and I was like, I don't know, I'll give it a shot. Like, if it's bad, if I hated it, it's only $20. But the things I've seen about this game kind of strike a lot of things that it tickles my fancy. There's like there's base building and stuff like that. It looks like there's raising different generations, multiple playable protagonists, all eligible to inherit the throne. Like, a lot of that stuff really, I don't know, sounds good to me, and it looks really good. I do like this this era of Square Enix remakes where they did like Trials of Mana, and Visions of Mana was a remake, but it wasn't like this big blast of art in your face like a Final Fantasy VII Rebirth that probably took 1 billion people to make. This is more of a simplish art style, very flat shaded, very colorful. I adore that stuff. Like, if they can keep going with this type of stuff. They wanted to do like Final Fantasy V and Final Fantasy VI in this style, I'd be all for it. I don't need this big, hyper realistic looking everything like they're doing for Final Fantasy VII. Even though I do enjoy it. I do enjoy that, but this type of stuff I will take just as fast. I love it. I love that type of art. But yeah, I was going to install it on the PS5 tonight. I installed a few other games, but I don't think I have the space now. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll check back in on Romancing Saga 2 in the future. Okay, last game is Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. It's something that I picked up with some Amazon points. I was sitting on a handful, so I was like, I want to play this. I played a little bit of the first one on Steam. Didn't do anything for me. But this one got a handful of positive buzz when it came out a few months ago, and I know our fellow Pixel Pub compatriot Josh played through some of it, and he did not like it. So I just kept it on my Amazon wish list so I can monitor the price, and it did go down a handful of bucks as time went on. I was like, well, I got these points. Let me just go ahead and see what this is all about, and I'm eager to try it. I've heard the combat's hard. I hope that's not a big deterrent for me. I don't like hard games. I like easy games. So maybe this is not for me, but we'll see. I don't know. I do like the idea of a big open world medieval style RPG living in that world. Sounds like a ton of fun to me. And just like these big rolling green hills and mountains and blue skies. I could eat that up all day. So yeah, I've already installed it tonight. Maybe I'll give it a shot tonight. Maybe I'll turn it back up. Maybe I'll turn on the PS5 and play some games. What about that? Okay, that's been the PlayStation games we picked up here recently. It's a lot of games. Getting a horse. Losing my voice. Anyway, that's a lot of games. That's a lot of games. We got a lot of games to get through. So, yeah. I've been Andy from the Pixel Pub. Please like and subscribe, all that fun stuff. Hit the notification bell. Anything you could do to support us here at the channel be greatly appreciated. Like I said, I've been Andy from the Pixel Pub.